The Cowboys keep their playoff hopes alive with a comeback victory, a tale of two halves. Cowboys win this game 24-21. They are still in the hunt somehow, some way. It's not a, I wouldn't say a snowball's chance in hell, but it's not much bigger than that. But they still got a chance as they beat the Eagles in a excellent, I would say, second half defensive performance from the Cowboys defense, and then a lot of George Pickens and a lot of Dak in the second half as well. But I had to drop this stat. That was the lowest rushing success rate for the Eagles offense in a game in a decade since week 2 of 2015, a 18.8% rushing success rate, 0 explosive runs for the Eagles. Great job by that Cowboys defense responding. We felt the new Quinnen Williams, Chuck. We said Quinnen Williams, top 10 defender, just feel him, and you felt him today.
Yeah, the Eagles in the second half, they had 0% rushing success rate. That when you're trying to close that game out, if you can't run the ball at all like you want to, it's obviously gonna be really hard for that particular offense to kind of get things going. And then it just felt like things spiraled from there. Like, just overall in the second half, total EPA minus 11.3. So you can just tell right there they weren't getting much out of the times they did have the ball. Quinnen Williams was awesome today. Our friend Keegan Abdul Next Gen Stats told us earlier today he had a career high pressures today against the Eagles, and we saw him play last week against the Raiders. Like, he is rejuvenated, he's back, and I think it's like we talked about with the preview show. When you add someone like that, it's kind of like adding like a good player to your offensive line, where you can kind of maybe like mix and match a little bit more, but it's even more pronounced on defense because now we have this anchor in the middle. So Kenny Clark's our DT2. Oh, well, that's pretty good. Osa gets to be more of a pass rushing guy. That's much better for him. And now we have like this all-world guy who can do, I would say a little bit of everything, but no, it's a lot of bit of everything as we saw today. Like, it's Jerry, he's kind of like backed his way into rebuilding the base of this pretty quickly. And now like I'm just totally interested to see what they do next offseason. Like, if they can pull off a corner, that'd be great. But even like right now, they might have enough to kind of go on a little run here and threaten for the playoffs because the offense is obviously really good. Dak Prescott, again, played out of his mind today. And then now the defense has like a true ace again that they were missing after they traded Micah Parsons.
Yeah, and a game that, with all the chaos that kind of happened with all the fumbles and stuff, pick in the red zone by Dak, a fourth down stop, turnover on downs in the red zone, a missed field goal, another sequence where it went fumble, CD Lamb gets overturned, and then literally the next play, Turpin fumbles. I feel like those are all the games that the Eagles have been winning this year. That's kind of just what they do because they're a good team. And they kind of, okay, you made that mistake, but the defense answered. And so Quinnen Williams had 8 pressures, 3 of them quick. His average time to pressure was 2.46 seconds. So a quick pressure is defined as 2.5 seconds. So he averaged under a quick pressure for his 8 pressures today. The Eagles had 14 penalties today. That was something and you really did feel that, where they just had a little bit of sloppiness. I thought the Eagles, that obviously they went up 21-0, but they came out and like had some good answers, like spammed the ball to AJ Brown. That's kind of a good answer. But Jalen Hurts hits a bender to AJ Brown, and then he scores on the design run TD. And I was like, see, it's not that hard. Just throw go balls at Devontae Smith, throw something to AJ Brown, and run it, Jalen Hurts, and you're good. And then for the rest of the game, it just didn't feel that way. But it was at first I was like, look at that. They just shoved it right in my face because that's exactly what I was saying that they need to be doing. And they did for a quarter and just kind of tapered off. But man, Pickens. So like, and even going into like, this is going to feel like the rest of the season with the Eagles defense is if you target non-Quinyon Mitchell guys, it can go well for you. Quinyon Mitchell had a PBU on a quick slant to CD Lamb. That was great. He got targeted 4 times, only gave up 2 catches for 16 yards, 2 tight window targets. Cooper DeJean, who I think is a very good slot defender, had probably, as tough of a game as I've ever seen him. He's only allowed, this is another stat from Keegan Abdu, had only allowed 1 deep completion, which is 20 or more yards, only 1 in his entire career leading up to today. He allowed 2 today. 6 targets, 5 receptions, 152 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 PBU, 2 tight window throws, and Adoree Jackson gave up 4 receptions, 53 yards, and a touchdown. So that's the beauty of not just having CD and then living and dying by those CD drops. He had the drop on that 4th down, turnover on downs and stuff like that. But then George Pickens is just taking over in this game. I mean, just dunks on Cooper DeJean. He had the catch and run at the end of the game. You just felt, so it was, It's Quinnen Williams, but then George Pickens. So like you said, Jerry's kind of, I don't know, front door, maybe side doored his way to this, because it's like, I don't know, these moves are working, and I'm seeing the vision. I would put it that way. I'm seeing the vision.
Yeah. It seems like people like just being around Dak Prescott. You know, he's got a calming effect on the brain for some reason, because George, George has had his breakout season, and George has been amazing this year. Just easily the best football that he's played in his career. Got Quinn in, and he's back playing some of the best ball of his career after he had a little, maybe emotional slump to end his New York career. And we know how close Dak and Michael were during their time together. So maybe Dak is just kind of the emotional equalizer that gets these guys to just unlock the crazy portion of their brains on the field. Just keep it within the field. Keep it on the field. Because I haven't seen George do the fighting stuff that he was doing with the Steelers, where he's taking himself out of a play to swing on somebody. So they've kind of gotten some of this behavior corrected too.
I mean, even after the CD Lamb, or like when they got, I keep bringing up this series, but it was important because it went Saquon Barkley fumble, and then the Cowboys went 3 and out, I think, and then punted, and there was a fumble by the punt returner, and then it got stifled, and then the turnover and downs at the goal line. After that, CD has a drop. He's telling Dak to throw it out there, and I was like, dude, you dropped it. Like, who cares where you threw it? You catch the ball. But that's the type of play they showed Pickens, and it's like, oh, why are they showing Pickens? He probably did something, like threw his helmet or something, and he was just like, ah, and I was like, oh, that's progress. Like, because he's not having a freak out moment. He didn't get the target, like something of that sort. So like you say, I've always made a joke like this, that, Seabiscuit, the horse, they had a lot of horses, especially high strung thoroughbreds. They get calmed by other animals. Sometimes it's cat, could be a dog, could be a goat. And Seabiscuit had another horse, like this big horse named Pumpkin. And sometimes Seabiscuit needs a pumpkin, and that's George Pickens, and that's Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is his pumpkin, is the way I'm going to put it, because I think that's actually working out for them. But I don't know. I really like watching this Cowboys offense. I thought the Eagles offense was going to start turning a corner. They did for a quarter and a half, it felt like, and then kind of just, again, some more frustrations. Eagles defense is legit. It's just that the Cowboys offense is very legit as well. So I thought this was just a really nice win by the Cowboys. Of course, Eagles, of course, are still a real good team in the NFC, but it just got to get over the hump of that offense that's outside just the go balls. The run game's got to get going. I mean, that's just obvious. This Cowboys defense, well, they didn't have Quinnen Williams at that point, was giving up 200 yards a pop on the ground going into this game. So some fun runs from the Cowboys, some counter runs, a lot of stuff, a lot of pullers, but big win on the Cowboys. Anything to close on this game, Chuck? But that's all I got on it.
Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Cowboys defense. Because the back seven is still a little shaky. But if you can, if you can just blow up plays before they start, as they were doing when they had Micah Parsons, that's a pretty good strategy for kind of covering up some of that stuff. So. Good job, Jerry. You've kind of turned the thing around a little bit. Actually, a lot of it, man. Like they got a good base to move forward from.
They do. And they got resources this offseason. I know. I even said last week, I was like, they're set up for 2026 like really well. And they're just making this season interesting. Both of these teams have interesting schedules too. Cowboys Chiefs play on Thanksgiving, which, talking about execs. Oh my God. The execs are fired up about that one. Then followed up with the Lions, Vikings, Chargers, Commanders, Giants. So it goes up, and then kind of, some very winnable games on the back end there. Eagles got the Bears on Black Friday, then Chargers, Raiders, Commanders, Bills, Commanders. Okay. So kind of a fun tail end for both teams, up and down games. But Cowboys win. NFC East battle. I feel like these games are always fun. All right, we're going to move on to high number 2. Another game with some playoff implications, but this one was in the AFC. Don't count out those Chiefs. Chiefs win this game 23-20. And it was really another game that was a tale of two halves. More negative, I think, for the Colts, but Patrick Mahomes is inevitable. Just freaking Michael Myers. He's just going to walk you down. That's what it felt like in this game. The Leroy Horde, Kareem Hunt run game. I got a stat on that one, by the way. So put a pin in Kareem Hunt in short yardage. You inspired me, by the way. But the Chiefs had 33 first downs to the Colts 10. Oh, just wait. You're going to like it. Chiefs had 33 first downs to the Colts 10. Chiefs had 17 first downs in the second half in overtime. Colts had 5. And that's with their average starting field position being their own 19. The Chiefs And the Colts had a 35.2% success rate today, 30% in the second half, both lowest of the seasons. They only ran 50 plays today. So really that Chiefs defense stepped up in the second half, and then Mahomes definitely stepped up in the second half. But what'd you think about this game, Chuck?
Uh, it was good to see the Chiefs like kind of do the inevitability thing because man, it did feel shaky there for a little bit because I was getting worried because I was looking at the numbers after this game. I saw Jonathan Taylor ran the ball 16 times for 58 yards, but it felt like a lot more than that during the game. Like it felt like the runs that he was having having success, or at least like just kind of making them feel it. He had a 44% rush success rate on the day, finished with negative EPA. So they did better basically than anybody else has done to hold them in check, which I think is something that they should really take home from this game because that's not really what I expected. I expected them to kind of have a much tougher time holding the Chiefs or holding the Colts rushing attack at bay. So the fact that you did that, that's a good sign going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then if you told me before this game that Kareem Hunt would carry the ball 30 times, I'd be like, whoa, something either went really, really right or really, really bad in this game. But he did the thing again where he gets you just enough clutch runs where you can keep it moving. And then Mahomes, I think, locked in at the end. It was an up and down day for Mahomes, but I thought overall it was more good from him than bad. He missed some throws that he normally would hit.
He had a couple bad misses, and then he had a couple just beauties. I want to talk. I want to share the Kareem Hunt stat real quick because I'm just giddy. It's like my Christmas. All right, so you said it in our group chat. You're right. Kareem Hunt is like a short yardage god or something of that sort. In our group chat.
4th and 1.
All right, so I looked it up. 25 runs this year for Kareem Hunt on 3rd and 4th down, and 1 or 2 yards to go. So that's defined as short yardage. Okay. He's been successful in 21, 25 of them. 0 explosives, of course. That seems high. I was like, all right, that seems like a lot. 25 already in week 12. It's the record for a running back through the first 12 weeks of the season. It's the record. 25 is the record. He broke the record of Thomas Brown, I believe it was, had 24 through 12 weeks. And since 2002, the full season record is 32, which is Edgerrin James in 2003. The record since 2013 is 30 by Ezekiel Elliott in 2018. So you were right. It was like it feels like he could get these all day, and he's converting on 84% of them, 21 to 25. But I just had to share that one. So it is historical how many short yardage runs he's getting so far.
Well, because it's like it's buoying like his EPA stats. Like, because I remember what got me on this earlier in the season is
high leverage God.
I'm watching Kareem Hunt play. I'm like, oh my God, he looks awful, man. Like he looks so slow, so bad. And then his EPA numbers would be like some of the best each week, and he's having some of the best EPA numbers of his career. And then I split it out. I was like, oh my God, this is all just like 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, which is obviously going to be a positive EPA play. And if you just match up, if you just like amass a bunch of them, you're going to have pretty good numbers for the season. So I thought it was interesting that he got so many carries today. Maybe you'll be a little lighter on that in the future because it's not like you were getting too much on some of those. But yeah, he's the short yardage god right now. And this is what good football teams do, right? Like you have something you're good at in key situations, so you just do it over and over and over again until someone stops you. But no one has yet.
That's it. Football's not that hard. And then you just have, once in a while you just make Mahomes does some stuff. Rashee Rice makes some great catches. He had some nice catch and runs at the end there. No, their run game. I mean, their offensive line was mauling at points today, especially like early on. They had some double teams where they're just moving guys. And again, it's not the sexiest thing, but it's in baseball, pitchers, they call him an innings eater. And that's what Kareem Hunt is. He just eats those innings. It's not sexy. It's not a bunch of strikeouts. He gives up 5 runs, but guess what? He got you through 6 innings. That's what he does. Mahomes, though, I had to look this up because I was like, man, it didn't feel like a very gimmicky Chiefs offense today. And I mean that as a complimentary in a lot of ways. Some stuff is still frustrating. Every time I see Matt Nagy on the sideline, I'm like, yep, that's probably why. But the Mahomes had 54 dropbacks today. Only 6 were play action. So 48 non-play action dropbacks. That's a ton. It's like Drew Brees at Purdue. 48% success rate, 7 explosives on those. And I thought there was a couple that was like, this is cool. Even if, this player I'm not very high on, I thought it was a very cool moment. So the Rashee Rice stuff was great. I am high on Rashee Rice. I think he's excellent. But Xavier Worthy, it was a 3rd and 7 at the end of the game. It was they had 2 routes right next to each other. It was just a really cool thing that Mahomes can do. That's like, I can never teach this to somebody if I were a coach, but it's just like, this is how special he is, and this is what he creates. So it's a 3rd and 7 overtime to Xavier Worthy. They have 2 vertical routes from a bunch formation. I just had to describe this play because it's much even better than on rewatch than it was in the moment. And the Tyquan Thornton and Xavier Worthy are both running vertical routes at the deep safety. It's Rodney Thomas. And then one runs a corner route, Tyquan Thornton, and then Xavier Worthy runs the over route. And Mahomes on it drops back. He does the shoulder turn stuff, and it starts kind of like, kind of jogging forward. All he's doing is staring at Rodney Thomas dead center. He's not looking at either route. Nice little 3D there with the camera. He's not. It's like a Friday the 13th movie. He was not staring at either route. He just dead center staring at Rodney Thomas. And as soon as Rodney Thomas goes with Tyquan Thornton, which I would too, he just goes, no looks it and throws it to Xavier Worthy. He just throws it to a spot. And Worthy makes a nice catch and goes for a first down. And so imagine like it looked like a zipper getting unpulled, humana. But it was just such a cool moment from Mahomes where he was just, it was just like jogging it. And his ADOT in the second half was 10.7 yards. Like he was chucking that thing. It wasn't all great. Like I agree with you. They had a couple misses, but it was like in the moment they need to make plays. He made plays. And I'll say Romo did a nice job today going like, oh, this is playoff Mahomes. This is what it feels like. And I was like, I agree. And I think there's a couple weeks in a row, Romo's been on the ball about how the feel and flow of the game is. He did it last week with the special teams against the Broncos, but I just had to break down that play because I just thought it was so cool what Mahomes can do and accomplish like in these big moments.
Yeah, I mean, he had a 50%, almost a 50% drop back success rate today. Positive EPA. It's really good. It's really good.
He's really good.
Yeah, I don't know what else there is to say. Like there's a reason why even at 5-5, we're saying this team can win the Super Bowl. So we'll see what happens down the stretch, but I think that was a good win for them, and I think it was a really good win for the defense too, to kind of stand tall and play well in a situation where you haven't this year, and that offense is built to stampede you, and you kind of stood up to that. So that was a really good game for the Chiefs defense too. I thought against the run.
Oh, I know the Colts just couldn't put it away. It felt like all their bootlegs were getting clamped down on, and this is what you're scared of. It's like when Daniel Jones has to drop back a ton, like because on his straight dropbacks with no play action, definitely wasn't as successful as Mahomes. 20 dropbacks with non-play action, 30% success rate on those, and at the end, like they went 3 and out on their last 4 possessions, and that felt weird because it was like, oh, it feels like this should be the Colts be able to put this away. And they went in their fourth quarter, they went 3 plays, -2 yards, only took 1 minute off the clock, 1 minute, 2 seconds. Next drive, 3 plays, 7 yards, took 1:10. Last drive of the fourth quarter, 3 plays, 1 yard, took off 1:02. As I don't know, when the Colts are rolling, that does not feel that way. And that's why it just felt tight in the second half. And I still feel good about them overall, but it was definitely the Chiefs in the second half kind of taking over this game. They had some under center stuff like the Colts were getting to in the first half. In the second half, the Chiefs adjusted, took it all away. It was a really nice performance from the Chiefs. That's why, like you said, it's just like they just feel always got to keep an eye on them. Always got to keep an eye on them. That's why we had them as the favorite.
Yeah.
All right. Now they're up to
one more.
Oh yeah.
I have one more thing. Just it's just to tag along to the Colts not getting going. They've been a monster on early down runs this year. Easily like the best team in the league on rushing first and second down. Today, first and second down runs, 13 carries, 31 yards. 31% of those rushes did not gain a single yard, and obviously negative EPA on the play. And yards before contact, we talked about that last week. On those first and second down runs, they were at over 2 yards at yards before contact. Today, they're at 0.4. So Chiefs defense kind of brought it to them.
Yeah. They had the highest you had first and second down overall, just highest run stuff rate for the Colts today. And they had no turnovers. Yeah. It wasn't like, oh man, they got a couple turnovers and that's why that happened. They just got stifled. Yeah. I mean, that's just what happened in this game. So no, that's a great stat. That's exactly how it felt. How would you stack up the AFC now? I put you on the spot last week. How would you have like your top 4 or top 5 maybe for the AFC, just off the top of your head?
I think I would go Kansas City first at 6-5. I mean 6-5. Yeah, I think Kansas City's the best team in the AFC. And even like, yeah, I guess number two, I've still got Buffalo just because I like Josh Allen. I don't like the defense, but when they're at their best, I think they can just get rolling. Third, I would probably go New England, and that's really just off the strength of Drake May. I don't trust his defense really at all. I mean, even today, like you're having some moments where you're breaking down against Joe Flacco, and they've had some weak moments this season. Even the Falcons, like, almost had a chance to beat them in Foxborough a few weeks ago. So I think that defense could be a real poison pill for them. And then the fourth team, I guess probably Indianapolis. Like, they haven't been as clean the last few weeks, but still at their best, they can stampede you. So I'll go Kansas City, Buffalo, New England, and Indianapolis for my four.
That's fair. Texans got to be in there now. I just had no idea.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I just don't.
Is just
I don't
so
like Davis
good.
Mills. I just can't watch any more Davis Mills starts. I don't know.
I think Stroud is coming back.
He has moments. Yeah.
The Texans O-line actually it's not awful. Like, which is a huge improvement. That's all we need.
Yeah.
Look how much better the entire team looks when the O-line's just not awful. That's all we asked. It's not awful. And it's much better. So I know I kind of have them up there. I'm kind of similar to you. I have the Bills a little lower because you can just run on them so much. And that's what just scares me. Yeah. And just the offense, just running mesh on every
Joe
third.
Brady's not having the greatest stretch right now.
Yeah, but it's when they're clicking, it's just like, yeah, who stops this offense? And it's like, well, it feels like that meme where it's like, who's stopping this offense? Like, boom, 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 boom. And then it's like, I should just a picture of Joe Brady. And it's like, that's what's stopping the offense a little bit. I hate to blame it all on there. But no, I think that's fair with the power rankings. All right. High number 3, we're bouncing over to the NFC, which was I would say for about 10 minutes in real life was about to be a low for this team. And then this guy and the team pulls it off. And that's the Lions win 34-27. Jahmyr Gibbs has an absolute monster day, goes absolutely ballistic on the ground. 15 carries, 219 yards, 2 tutties, had 45 receiving yards and another touchdown on a sick catch, going over Willie May style at the goal line. 11 successful runs. Only one of them was stuffed. 7 of his runs, he reached 15 miles an hour or more. 2, he reached 20 miles an hour or more. Whew. And we'll get to Jameis too in this game as well. But whew. How about this one for Jamyr Gibbs and the Lions, Chuck?
Shoot, he saved their asses today. I mean, another player who's just really, really good. I mean, it's kind of crazy still that he can just kind of take over games in these moments where it just feels like it feels like you're kind of just holding on for dear life at times, just try as a defense, like, okay, we can just keep him bottled up, like inside. Next thing you know, like he's gash one, like literally 80 yards on you. And those are the plays that he's getting, it feels like he's getting every week, man. I mean, even last week against the Eagles, when they were kind of struggling to get into a rhythm on offense, and even at times in this game when they were struggling to get into the rhythm of the passing game, like you can just kind of turn around and say, all right, well, we'll toss it to Jahmyr. He's going to make someone miss, and we're off for, a 50, 60-yard explosive play. I mean, it's just a total game changer to have in your backfield. And I almost wonder, like, how far can you just ride this? Because this seems to be the plan, right? When they have these offensive runs, just find Jahmyr and get him the ball and see what can happen. And so far, the results have been good. I'm like, should he be in the offensive player of the year race? Like, because it seems like he's kind of become their whole offense, just based with all of the production that he's had the past few weeks. And I think it's really cool to just have like this kind of easy button that you can press, but I'm not sure if it's cool that you needed it so much today. That's a big issue. I mean, I don't know who that linebacker was who got dunked on by Jameis Winston,
Barnes.
Which was just like a legit Barnes, who was a legitimately like impressive play by Jameis. I mean, to make the catch like in contact, like box at the linebacker, make the catch in contact, spin around, break a tackle, like. That's just flat out good receiver play. Barnes, come on, bro. Come on, man.
After Jameis throws up the hand too, which killed me.
Yeah.
Because it's like, where else do you think this ball's going, buddy? Like, which I thought was just amazing. It should have been a sack too, which was just unbelievable. And then he had a 3rd and 17, like crazy play to Theo Johnson, like a great throw too. They had a double pass TD. The Giants just were throwing the kitchen sink in this game. I mean, that's why they're hanging in it. I appreciate Kafka throwing the kitchen sink, and they went fourth down at the goal line. I appreciate all that. But, the receiving touchdown was hilarious. I mean, that was like an unbelievable catch, but I just love that, the putting up the mailbox arm. just like throwing the ball. But with Gibbs, our friend Ben Solak had a tweet with some more of his stats. First player to average at least 14 yards per carry on 15 or more rushes since Derrick Henry in 2018, which feels appropriate. And then the first player to get 200 or more rushing yards in 15 or fewer carries since Isaiah Crowell in 2018. So it was just, the touchdown on the first play in overtime, untouched on duo, which is never happens. And he takes it to the house. And then he had a 49-yarder in the second quarter, also duo. And also that one was out jumbo personnel. So it's like they've hit like many. They've gotten more explosive runs off duo runs than probably any team I've seen. I've seen teams get a lot of doubles and like 15-yarders and 12-yarders and 18-yarders, but it just brings that speed element. It could take it to the house. And then they had the 49-yard touchdown in the fourth quarter on outside zone. Again, all these plays were just on the safety, that's the goal of run play is there's usually going to be one on-block guy or a guy that the running back has to take care of. You're hoping it's the corner. That's what duo is usually intended to. But if you're going to play against these soft shells like the Giants were, it's going to be the safety. And there's Nubin, or actually it wasn't even Nubin. I shouldn't put him on a poster. But it was a couple guys, but safety was just frozen, and Gibbs just erases all the angles. So it's just I've never seen duo weaponized that much. Maybe in my experience, maybe Robert Smith from the Vikings when my dad was coaching him. Like that's the only guy I can think of off the top of my head. Like Edgerrin James was a zone runner. So it's just really, it's a different type of like element to bring to this play that's so physical. So it's just like he's hitting them for bombs, and they're usually only plays that go for singles and doubles. Like how Kyron Williams runs is how duo usually goes: 5 yards, 6 yards, 4 yards, 12 yards, 5 yards, 4 yards, 4 yards. Not this, not 69-yarder, not 49-yarder, which is a much to Gibbs, and also just the tackling of the Giants defensive backs. Also, Giants offense had 10 explosive passes today. Right after I'm like, hey, Lions defense is elite. Everyone should focus on the Giants or the Lions defense. They're so good. Check out Shepard. Like everyone check them out. They give up 10 explosive passes, 23 yards, 39 yards, 40 yards, 42 yards, 26 yards, 24 yards, 20 yards, 33 yards, 30 yards, 39 yards. That's the team that lost today. They had 6 plays of 30 or more yards. The Lions had 5 plays of 30 more yards. I had to share that because we had 11 plays basically were double explosives today.
Okay, I just saw something hilarious. Because I was looking at this game and I was like, man, like the Lions really ran for all this with Dexter Lawrence on the Giants, really? And the answer is not really, no. So Dexter Lawrence on plays where he is on the field, the Lions had 8 carries for 31 yards on plays where Dexter Lawrence was on the field. Plays where he was off the field, 12 carries, 202 yards, and 2 touchdowns, 17 yards per carry. Wow. Guys, you can't be that reliant on them. You can't be that reliant on them. Really? One guy and you're giving up 20 yards a rush?
Wow. I mean,
that's really bad.
That's really that's like you said. It's like really doing with Dexter Lawrence. Well, no, not really. Raheem Nunez-Roches had like a sack today, and I actually thought it was Dexter Lawrence. I was like, oh, look at that move, and it was Nunez-Roches, which was like a little bit of like the Lions' interior offensive line. But then here they are going for 202 bills to Jahmyr Gibbs. So no, that's a great one. Yeah. The Giants, by the way, first team to be eliminated from playoff contention. So congrats on that. But I don't know. I've been enjoying the Kafka experience. It's just like, so we maybe get Jackson Dart back out there. We'll see how they finish the rest of the season. But the Lions are still in it in a very tough NFC North. And they got their Thanksgiving game with the Packers. That's how we start that morning. Then they go Cowboys, Rams, Steelers, Vikings, Bears. So interesting schedule for the Lions the rest of the way. Yeah. Every game matters.